Hey guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to Parkitect Build. So this is part 4, the waterfront and mountain. So today we are continuing on our main street, and at the end of it we create a nice little waterfront area, and then beyond that I start construction on a mountain. Now in the last episode I sort of alluded to the fact that I couldn't decide what I wanted to build as the focal point of the park as you're walking down the main street. I wanted some kind of focus, like a Disney castle or an Alton Towers type thing at the end of the path. So what I went for, as you'll see towards the end of this one, is a nice little bed of water with a sort of a large bridge that goes straight across, and then a nice mountain that sort of grows up from just beyond that. Now it's not finished, but it's sort of, you can see the rough outline and the shape and everything that I'm going for towards the end of this episode. And we do a lot of work around paths and the waterfront. I put some bushes and things in the water, some a little odd bits of theming, little basic stuff, but I mean it just gives you an idea of what I'm going for. I also do a little bit of work on the paths throughout the park by putting some benches, bins, street lamps and that sort of thing, getting the infrastructure in there as we go forwards. So this time lapse that you are watching, it's sped up just over about half the speed, and this episode is roughly about 15 minutes, and it gives you a good view of, like I said, the rest of this path extension, the waterfront area and the mountain. So I'm still coming up with names for the park, the main street and the actual waterfront, so I still want to come up with some kind of names down the line. So if you guys will have any names for any of these particular areas, then feel free to drop us a comment down below, and I want to try and make this as interactive as possible, so as many suggestions as you can get, throw them my way, and then hopefully as the park progresses we'll get some nice interaction going on and we can get some areas named from you guys. So drop us some comments down below of any area names you can think of, or any suggestions as well. You might notice there is a small square just on the map where I'm doing this, where there is like about 3 or 4 squares of unattainable land. That is a mistake I made when I was originally making this scenario. I'm either gonna go back in the scenario editor and sort that out, or just cover it with trees. I haven't decided yet, because as long as it doesn't get in the way I may leave it and disguise it. However, if I do need to build exactly where that is, I'll sort that out at a later date. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating the start of the waterfront area. I had a little bit of trouble with the terrain tool. It is a little bit fiddly. It's not the most, it's very basic, I think is the best way to put it. I mean, yes, I get that it does what you need and you can go one square at a time to truly get what you want. However, like I said, it is just a little bit basic. In terms of the actual pond area, I do extend it out a little bit later on, as I believe it's not quite symmetrical. I think one side is smaller than the other, so towards the end I do go back and fix that when I'm doing the sort of path work and the street lamps and things. So roughly marking out where the paths are going to go, so I'm using double paths again here, so the guest flow can go around, and then I'm also designing a kind of sub area, like a little branching path. So these white looking paths I'm doing now, the sort of marble looking ones, these are going to be the sort of launching points to get around the park. So my plan is you get to this hub central area of the mountain in front of you, and the waterfront here, and to the left and right of the water will lead you into 2 themed areas, and then I'm thinking of doing a tunnel directly through the mountain that will lead into like an adventure kind of area. That's the plan. Then obviously the other areas will be dotted around, but it will all link in sort of a massive circle around the mountain, with this hub sort of making the central point really of the branching paths. I mean, yes, you could. Anyone who's been to Walt Disney World or Disneyland Paris, or any sort of Magic Kingdom style park, will know this is a very similar structure to that kind of park, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Again, I'm not taking exact copies. The fact that, like I said, I'm putting an adventure theme behind the mountain, and obviously in the Magic Kingdom style park, you normally get like a fantasy theme. So it's not a direct copy in any way, it's just taking influence from the places that I love and know the most. I mean, Magic Kingdom is the most popular theme park in the world, so they're obviously doing something right. So that's what I'm aiming for there. So I start making the sort of rise of the mountain. As you can see, I'm just playing around with the terrain tools to get a good grips of how to use it. Then there's this sort of like digging kind of flatten kind of tool which I used just to make it look a little less symmetrical. I want it to look a little bit more mountainous. And like I said, it's not finished. The basic shape is just there just to try and get an idea of the size of it. I think I'm going to go up a little bit higher in the centre just to give it a little bit more of a little bit more height, because at the moment it's a little bit lower than I want it to be. So yeah, I was just testing a few of the colours to try and find the best thing I want to use. So I think in the end I do opt for this dark kind of sandy mud type texture. We do a little bit of blending in around the edge using the little triangle tool. It does take a while, this bit, but I wanted to get it blended. And then I kind of put a nice little snowy top on top of the mountain. Sorry, I often say that bit. So I think the snowy top, like I said, I am going to raise it up a bit more, so that isn't staying. That was more of just a test to see how it looked and see how the sort of blending of the terrain worked with this game. And I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but you can do it with this tool that I'm currently using just here, where it kind of takes little triangles from each square and sort of deletes it out. So like I say, in a second you'll see I'll zoom in a bit closer to do the fine details. But it kind of works, it does kind of blend it quite nicely. So once I get a bit of greenery, trees, bushes, shrubs, that sort of thing up on this mountain, and a little bit more height, and then blend a bit more terrain in, I think it's going to look awesome. And then also I've noticed, I was just reading the other day on one of the updates from the devs of the game, coming in the next update build, there's going to be a few new effects like fire and smoke and things. So hopefully that's something we can implement into this theming piece here. And maybe have like a fire at the top of it, possibly. I mean, we could turn it into a volcano, but it wasn't really the plan. But we'll see what comes out in the next alpha, which should be due probably next week. So there should hopefully be a few new bits and pieces in that, and that should be alpha 15 if it's a full build. I mean, I say next week, it might be a bit later because they tend to bring them out once a month. But as soon as it comes out, we'll do another update video on the channel like we have done over the last couple of months. So yeah, just here you can see I'm just starting with this snowy peak, and like I said, it was just a test to see how it looked. And I was just mainly doing this to test how the blending works. And I sort of pull a few bits down here and then make little splotches, and it turns out quite well. So it's an idea for down the line, something that I may end up doing, because it does look quite good from a distance. So it just needs to be a bit higher, really. But the basic shape is there, so that's what we're going for. So now I'm moving on to the sort of bridge in the centre of the pond, once I've finished with the terrain colours. And again, this is just a nice sort of relaxing bridge. There'll be some benches on there eventually, and just a nice little welcome to the park, so you can come in and just have a look around and relax as you get there before the hustle and bustle of the actual themed areas and the thrill rides. So I am going to go for more of a family park than a thrilling park, obviously to suit everybody. But that's not to say there won't be some roller coasters and thrill rides in here. It's definitely going to be a mix of every age, and each area will have something for everybody. Again, much like the Disney parks, but again, just because it works, that format works, and that's what we're going to go for. So I'm just adding in the little bits of theme in here, like bushes and trees and little things like that, just to give it a bit of depth and a bit of variance. I think once we get, I haven't done anything with the actual trees around the sandy area yet in this episode. I do put some fences up, but I think when I come to that, I might just change the terrain slightly so it's not perfect, because at the moment it's very much a square pool and I want it to look more like a pond. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of work with that next episode to get it looking a little bit more natural rather than just sort of plonked there. So that's something we will do next time. So we stick a few different heights in here and rocks and things. Again, this is just to give it depth. So there's a few things under the water, halfway in the water and above the water, just so from whatever angle you're looking at it, it will give it a little bit of depth and texture is what I'm going for. And I believe the water has also been tweaked in the next update as well, so that's something which we will see when that comes out. I know one of the new rides that's coming for the next build is, I think it's like a paddle boats. I think the reason why it's took them so long to make it is because it's got, I believe, I'm not read much into it, but from looking at it, it seems like it's got a kind of drive your own path mechanic to it, so the guests can drive around the pond and then bring themselves back in rather than following a specific path. So I think that's took them a while to obviously hone that and make that work how they wanted it to. But I believe that is in the update that should be coming out very soon. So this is where we move on to the path work, adding the bins and sort of the infrastructure around. I'm trying to make everything as symmetrical as possible, so a lot of it I do work out in terms of the numbers of the squares, just to make it fit. I mean, I haven't got OCD, that's what I was going to say, OCD, but I just like things to look neat. But I mean, as you can tell from certain things of this park already, that not everything is exactly symmetrical, but like I said, I don't want it to be perfect in every aspect, just certain things I just want them to look in the right place. So that's where we do this. And then this is where I noticed that the pond was slightly bigger on one side. So when you're looking at it from this view, well, if you're looking towards the mountain, the side on the left is one tile smaller than the side on the right. And I figured it out when I was doing these lanterns here, and I was like, it doesn't add up. So that was counting here. So that's when I realised it was one tile too short. So I edit all that out, extend the path, the pond out a little bit, just to make it perfect. And then that is roughly where we get up to in this episode. So as you can see, like I said, I've started with the waterfront. It's still early days, it's still nowhere near completed, but you can get a gist of what I'm going for and the shape. And like I said, I want this to be the hub and the central point of the park, with the mountain in the background, which will also act as a theming structure and a route through. Like I said, I'm going to do a nice themed walkway through the mountain to give it a little bit of depth and a little bit of mystery. So we might put a few hidden little surprises in there. Again, as more things are released on the game, like I might once there maybe some animatronics we could stick in there and hide some like mythical creatures or something, and I don't know, we'll see down the line once they're added into the game. I mean, and the other thing that I've not really touched on yet is all the mods and the blueprints and all the additional tile sets and theming pieces that other people have made that I can import into this game. And that's something we will look into once I decide what theme we're going for. So, like, the only area at the moment that I know I want to do is the adventure theme through the mountain. So that'll be probably the first place we start looking for some additional theming pieces. So I'm thinking like torches with fire, like bamboo structures, sort of like skulls and sort of tribal type things. So that's what I want to try and find. So if anyone's got any suggestions of sort of things that are out there that sound like they fit that theme, give us a shout, give us a comment and point us in the direction. If not, then I'm obviously just have a look around. If all else fails, we'll just wait until the things become available. But I'm fairly confident that there's enough stuff out there that I can find. I know there's quite a big scene on this game in terms of its modding and sort of user created content. I know that's been quite a big thing since the game launched. So that's something which we'll look into in future episodes. We may even cover it in one of the alpha update videos rather than doing it in part of the build series. But either way, we'll look at that at some point down the line. So just here now, towards the end of this episode, I'm just finishing up with the fencing. I put a little bit around this area here, and then I do fence off the pond, I believe, as well, just to give it shape and so we know where we're going in the next one. So that's about it for today. So we will continue this again, maybe the end of the week or next week will be the next episode. So give us a comment if you've got any suggestions. Give us a like and subscribe if you've not done so already. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.